Biomechanics and Yoga. So let me start with a question. What do you think it means to be good at yoga? All right, let's see what you're all saying. Excellent. I love this. To be able to do all the stretches. I like that. Okay, so today uh, we are going to synchronize breath and movement. We're going to explore that a little bit. And being aware of where your body is, all of these, we're going to try to relate some of these intuitions that we have to some of the concepts that we learned last time and get a little deeper. So the main purpose of today is to relate the concepts that we learned last time and apply them in the context of yoga. Getting out of bed, I see. Uh, so here's what I said in the session description. Yoga can be used to achieve balance across muscle systems to improve movement coordination. So before we get into the yoga session, I mainly want to cover the idea of muscle systems. So it's poll time again. Before that. So there are over 650 muscles in the human body. It's fairly complicated. So the question for you is, how do we understand something so complicated? I love your honesty. That's what we're going to explore if you have no idea. One piece at a time, keep that in mind. It's a grand proposal. Well, sure. But grand proposals come from somewhere. Continuous study and listening, we'll experience some of that today. Breaking down into subsystems, interaction between parts. Excellent. These are all excellent answers. Build models. Let's explore one of these answers today. So mainly breaking down into subsystems and things like that, and grouping them into different systems. So one strategy, as I said, is to think about groups of muscles rather than individual muscles. Can you think of some ways in which you can group muscles? Right, let's see what you're all saying. Function, location, yes, yes. Area, yes. These are all good answers. And what I want you to realize is that each grouping has a different use. So some groupings are more useful in some contexts, and other groupings are useful in other contexts, right? So for example, if you think about location, maybe you want, somebody said core, legs, arms. If you divide your body that way, maybe you structure your workouts that way. I'm going to have a leg day, I'm going to have a core day, I'm going to have an arm day, something like that. Being controlled by the same nerves, excellent. So you can think about it as, oh, when I'm doing something, or when you categorize by function, when I'm doing something, these all muscles are acting together, right? So maybe you want to explore, can I try to get more control and differentiate between them and so on, right? So these are all good ways of lumping muscles into groups, right? Involved in different primary movements. This is also good, but we have to define what primary movements are, right? I'll offer you one less popular, for lack of a better word, grouping of muscles. We're going to relate it back to this little toy that we played with last time, right? So this, I said, is called a tensegrity structure, and it has these elastic bands. So if I pop off one of these caps, you can see that this band goes all the way from here to here. So in the context of having this cap on, I can think of this as one muscle, this as a separate muscle. But once I pop it off, you can think of this as one system, right? So we're going to explore this idea a little more today. So the question is, what is the equivalent of this elastic band in the body? So in many textbooks, you'll see this picture, right? This is correct. Muscle attaches to bone via tendon. So the white stuff is the connective tissue. In this case, it's a tendon. But upon closer inspection, what people have found is that there are some fibers that attach down to the tendon, to the bone, and some fibers that run continuously to the next muscle. So what anatomists did when they made this observation is that they followed these continuous fibers across the body, and they found different systems of muscles. And they made nice pictures for us to explore. And the reference here is this book called Anatomy Trains by Tom Myers. So based on this criteria, whatever results they have found, they have been compiled in this book. And these are the muscle systems we have been exploring. We explored a little bit last time, and we're going to do a little bit more today. So also remember, we explored these muscle systems in the context of the energy cycle. We said that efficient movement happens because we store kinetic energy into elastic energy in the form of stretches in these systems. And then there is a notion of retrieval of that energy to create efficient movement. Now, we also saw, this is the main part I want you to recall for today. We also explored this in the context of running on a treadmill. So we explored one muscle system, and I put markers along different points in the muscle system to measure its length. And we saw that when I changed the speed of the treadmill, the mean length of the muscle system changed, and the oscillation, mainly, let me use a prop. So a simple way of thinking about it is, let's say I'm walking. The muscle system is going something like this, right? Of course, it's all wound up in our body and it's more complicated. When I'm running, I'm holding it at a higher length, and then it's oscillating around that length. So this is the mental model I want you to develop for today. So before we dive into the yoga session, how does the idea of energy cycle relate to yoga? This is making you think, huh? Good. Flow, yes. Yes, you're also good. Oh, somebody hit it right on the nail. I don't know if that's the correct expression. Yoga is training muscles at different lengths. Sure, we're going to explore that. Yes, all these are correct, but we're going to explore one aspect of this. Excellent. Okay. So when you're using muscles, one of the answers was muscles. Potential energy from muscles converts to kinetic energy. We'll explore this next time, but the right way to think about it is when you use muscle force, it's chemical energy, it's your calories that gets converted into kinetic energy. So we'll see how that fits into elastic energy next time. Okay, so we are going to try to experience all the things that went through our heads during a yoga session, right? So we're gonna, and to lead this yoga session is Pallavi Bharadwaj. She is a postdoc at MIT Lids, and she works in clean energy and believes in sustainability in both inner and outer worlds. So without further ado, Pallavi, please take it away.
Thank you so much, Praneet. So, welcome everyone to the yoga session. Yeah. So, what is yoga? So, Sanskrit definition of yoga is that something unites. Yeah. It comes from the root yuj, which means the union of the mind, body, and the spirit. And the link between the mind and the body is the breath. Yeah. So we have been intellectually knowing all this, but experiencing it is another thing altogether. Yeah. So for those of us who are ready to dive into the experience, let's begin the journey inwards just for 30 minutes and let's have fun together. So I want all of you to sit comfortably and easily. Let's start on a nice note. Roll your shoulders back, sit comfortably and easily. With awareness, bring your back and neck in straight line. Check in with the body. If the body is flexible or is it stiff? Is there any pain or strong sensation in any part of the body? Check in with the breath. Is it long and deep? Or is it short and shallow? Check in with the mind. Is it right here, right now? Or is it all over the place? Take a happy breath in and happily let it go. And slowly, let's open our eyes. So, we will start the session by energizing the body. Yeah, so the flow would be we energize the body, then we loosen the body. We work with the joints so that when we do the yoga asanas, go deeper in the stretches, we don't hurt ourselves. Okay, so some breathing, some sukshma vyayam, which is gentle rotations of the joints, and then some asanas followed by cool down and relaxation. Are you all set for the next 30 minutes? Perfect. So what we will do now is we will take yogic breaths. See, all of us have lungs, but we just use 30 to 40% of our lung capacity. So we are really going to use this instrument called respiratory system in our body. So when we breathe in, we will expand our chest, will expand the abdomen, and then to give a little more space for lungs to expand, we'll lift the clavicles up, the collarbones up. And then when we breathe out, we relax the collarbones, relax the chest, pull the navel in so that all the air goes out of the lungs. Okay, so let's do it all together. Make sure your back and neck is in straight line. Sit tall, everyone. Take a deep breath in. Breathe out, empty your lungs. And let's begin the yogic breaths. Breathe in. Expand your abdomen, pushing the diaphragm below. Expand your chest. Let the chest go outwards and sideways. Let it expand. Lift your collarbones a bit up. Keep expanding as you inhale. And when you cannot expand anymore, gently relax the collarbones, relax the chest. Pull your navel in, exhale completely. One more yogic breath in. Expand your abdomen. Feel the belly going out. You can place your hands on the belly and chest and feel the movement. Expanding the tummy, expanding the chest, lifting up the collarbones. Keep inhaling. And gradually relax the collarbones, relax the chest, pull the navel in. One more time, breathe in, expand the abdomen, push the navel out, expand the chest outwards and sideways. Lift up the collarbones, keep inhaling, and gradually relax the collarbones, relax the chest. Pull the navel in, exhale completely. One last yogic breath for today. Breathe in. Expand the tummy, expand the chest. Lift your beauty bones up. Keep inhaling. And slowly relax the chest, relax the collarbones, pull the navel in, and relax. Let us do some Sukshma Vyayam, gentle stretches to open up the joints. Take a deep breath in. Take the head back. Breathe out, bring your chin to the chest. And from the right side, as you inhale, let's start the neck rotations. Breathing in as we go back. Breathing out as we come forward. Long and deep breaths, coupled with deep neck rotations. If you feel stiffness at a particular angle, stay there, breathe in a couple of moments, and then continue. Be one with the movement and reverse the direction. Keep breathing, synchronizing every breath with the movement. Let the union of the mind, body, and breath happen. Finish the round you are on. Breathe in and come to the center. Let's work with our shoulders now. Let's take the hands to the sides. Take them back as much as you can. Tick, 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 back, 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 back. Very good. Bring them forward and give yourself a gentle hug. Bring your chin down. Breathe in, stretch your arms, take them as back as you can behind you. And breathing out, give yourself a nice hug. One more time, breathe in, hands go back. Breathe out, bring them close to you and hug yourself. And relax. Now let's rise and shine, everyone. Let's do a few standing warm-ups. You can go on your yoga mat if you have one ready. All right, let's stand tall, everyone. Just check in with the body, roll the shoulders back, open up the chest, keep the hands to the sides. Your feet are hip width apart. Pull your toes a little bit in so that your knees are off pressure and stand tall. Now we will align the middle portion of the body. So take the navel in, take the pelvis in and stand tall. Look straight ahead. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. This is Tadasana, the sthiti for all standing positions, standing asanas. So breathe in, take the right hand up and go all the way to the left, just opening up the left part of the body. Look up, breathe in, relax the left hand. Breathe in, right hand up, stretch up and go all the way to the left, opening up the right part of the body. Breathe in, come to the center. Breathe out, relax your hands. Take both the hands up as you breathe in. Place the hands in front or on top of the head. Turn the fingers upwards. Breathe in. Stretch the hands up. Come on your toes. Lift up from the heels. Keep your gaze fixed so that you do not fall. Stay there and relax. One more time. Breathe in. Stretch the hands up. Come on your toes. Lift up the heels. Stay there. Keep your gaze fixed so that you don't lose balance. And very, very slowly come down. Now, we will stretch our feet nearly 3 to 4 feet apart. If you're taller, you can go till 4 feet, otherwise 3 feet is fine. So legs are 3 feet apart. Breathe in. Take the hands to the shoulder level. And let's go to the right. Stretch, open up the sliding muscles. Come back to the center, go to the left. Open up the sliding muscles on the left. Come to the center. Take the hands up, stretch up, go back. And breathing out, take your hands forward, make your waist paddle to the ground. And gently let your hands fall to the floor. Place your hands on the yoga mat and gently start walking towards the right foot, towards the center, towards the left foot, back to the center. Walk forward with your hands. Come back to the center. And once again, go to the right side. And join the hands together. And as you breathe in, take your hands up. Join them together. And breathing out, come down. Let's make circles, big circles with the 4 fingers. As we do Sarvang Pushti, we make the whole body go into a stretch. Make clockwise circles with your hands together. You going from right and up and down and left. Let's reverse the direction, going up from the left and out from the right. Opening up the body fully. Very good. Come to the center and relax the hands. Let's bring the feet together. Now the body is open. We can do some stretches. So once again, let's come to the sthiti, everyone. Roll the shoulders back. Hands on the sides, fingers stretched apart. Take the tummy in, take the pelvis in. Your toes are less than hip width apart. Take the pressure off the knees. Now, we will go into Ardha Chakrasana. Breathe in, Take the hands up, 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 up. Stretch up. Stay at the top and stretch up. And slowly bend your upper back. Look towards the ceiling. Push the middle back forward. Engage your inner thighs and push the pelvis forward. Look up. Very good. Stay there. Keep breathing. Hold the pose and nod the breath. If you are trembling, you went too much. So come back a little bit and stay wherever you are comfortable. Yoga is Sthiram Sukhamasanam, being stable and enjoying the posture is yoga. Slowly breathe in, stretch up, take the hands forward, make the body parallel to the ground. If you have lower back issues, just put your hands on the knees and stay there. The rest of us, we will go fully down. Hands are forward. Gently bend the knees. Let the hands fall to the feet. Completely let go. Bring your chest to the thighs. Hands holding the feet. And now make an attempt to straighten your knees. Very good. Stay there, Hasta Padasana. Hands and feet posture. Stay there, keep breathing. Gently breathing in. Bend the knees, stretch forward and stretch up. Go all the way back and come to the center. Very good. Let's do a few more asanas. Again, let's stretch the feet, keeping the distance between as 3 feet. If you're taller, don't hesitate. Go to 4 feet also. Now let's bend the right foot 90 degrees, left foot in 15 degrees, 5 to 15 degrees. Breathe in, bring the hands at the shoulder level and stay there. Just check your posture. Your pelvis is not tilted, it is still facing forward. Breathe in, breathing out, slide the body to the right. You can place your left hand on your waist and with the right hand push the wall on the right. Push, 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 push. Make sure you are supple at the knee. Don't over strain the knee. Don't lock it. And once you have reached your limit, let the right hand go down and left hand go up. Come in the triangle pose, Trikonasana. With every incoming breath, go deeper in the asana. Every outgoing breath, relax in the asana. Keep breathing. Breathe in with the strength of the arm. Push yourself up and relax the hand. Maintaining the position of the feet. Again, bring the hands at the shoulder level. Bend the right knee and look at the right side. Come to the warrior pose, Veerbhadrasana, and look at the right palm. Keep breathing. Remember, the breath settles you in the asana. Gently from here, place your right elbow on the right thigh and stretch your left hand in line with the body. And look at the direction your left palm is pointing to. Baddha Konasana. Very, very powerful for strengthening the thighs. Come back with the strength of the arms. Pull yourself up and come to the center. Let's bend the right foot in and left foot out 90 degrees. Right foot is 5 to 15 degrees. If you draw a line from the middle of the left foot, it should go to the center of the right foot. That's the correct orientation. Breathe in, take the hands to the shoulder level, place your right foot on the waist. With the left palm, press the wall on the left side. Remember, don't lock your left knee. Just press. Keep pushing on the left side. And when you have reached your limit, drop the left hand in front of the knee. Let the right hand go up and look at the ceiling. If you have cervical issues, you can just look forward or down. Rest of us, let's keep looking up. Every incoming breath, go deeper in the asana. Every outgoing breath, relax in the asana. If you're trembling, remember, Sthiram Sukham Asana. So come back a little bit and stay where you are comfortable. With the strength of the arms, pull yourself up, come to the center. Bend the left knee, making sure the left knee doesn't cross the toes. If it crosses, increase the distance between the feet. Now bend the left knee, bring the thigh parallel to the ground, and look at your left side. Virabhadrasana, Warrior 2. Remember, keep breathing. Gently place your left elbow on the left thigh and stretch the right hand in line with the body. And look at the direction this palm is pointing to. Feel the union of the mind, body, and breath. Breathe in, pull yourself up. Breathe out, relax the hands. Now, reduce the distance between the legs. Come to the center. We'll do one last asana for today. So again, stand in Tadasana. Roll the shoulders back. Tuck your navel in. Take your pelvis in line. Hands are by the sides, fingers stretched. Breathe in. Take the hands up. Biceps next to the ears. Now we will sit on a comfortable chair. We'll make our own chair. Okay? So let's take the pelvis back as you can. And then bend the knee. Make sure your knee does not cross your toes. If it is crossing, take the pelvis more back. Okay? And then come down, come down, come down, come up, come up, come up, come down, come down. If your hands have come down, take them up with awareness. So come down, and sit down. Sit down, everyone. We'll do cool down. So sit comfortably and easily. Let's close our eyes. Observe your breath. Observe your heartbeat. Once again, let's check in with the body. See if there is any pain. or strong sensation in any part of the body. You can either sit with the backrest, sit with the spine erect, or lie down on your back for the cool down, whatever is comfortable for you. Just completely let go and relax. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. We'll chant Om 3 times. Breathe in. Om. Om. Completely relax. Become aware of your right foot, right knee, thigh, right hip, left foot, left knee, left thigh, left hip, the whole of your left leg. Breathe in. Relax your legs completely. Relax your lower abdomen, stomach, chest, right shoulder, right arm, left shoulder, left arm. Relax your neck, relax your throat, Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Let there be peace around you, inside you, and in every cell of your being. Take a happy breath in and happily let it go. If you're lying on your back, gently turn to your right side and sit up. Slowly and gradually becoming aware of your body and surroundings. Whenever you feel complete, gently open your eyes.
Thank you
How are
so
you
much.
all feeling? Good? Rested? Take care, everyone. Yeah. Thank you, Praneeth, for inviting me. I love being here.
Thank you so much for leading the session. And I hope everybody feels refreshed. I certainly do. And let's look at some of this stuff in more detail. Okay, let's come back from within ourselves to thinking about yoga, experiencing to thinking. Okay, so the relationship between gait and yoga. In the context of gait, we saw that the mean length of the muscle system is automatically set when we change speed. So this is how you think about it. So as I'm running, I'm oscillating around this point, and as I'm walking, I'm oscillating around this point. I'm either going like this or like that. Now, let's just see what happens during yoga. Let's just track a muscle system length. Let me make sure I optimized for video. Okay. Here are some of the poses we went through. As some of you already guessed, the length of the muscle system is changing in each pose, right? Now, here is an excerpt from a 2.5 minute yoga session while I was tracking. And you can see that there is about 30 to 50% change in the length of my muscle system between different asanas and different poses. Now, during yoga, we are deliberately exploring muscle systems at different lengths. So let's talk a little bit about what exploration means. So here is a recording from a 10-minute session. And if you look closely, well, of course, the length of the muscle system is changing as I'm changing the poses. But if you look closely, there's also these oscillations in specific poses, right? So what are these oscillations and why are they important? So when I took a closer look at the video, the oscillations corresponded to breathing. So let's look at a pose once again. I'm going to stay in the pose for a little bit this time. And the muscle system is changing length just a little bit. It's just 1 centimeter, 1 centimeter, up and down. I'm going to show you the same video from the side view. And here you can look at my belly and you can, hopefully you can tell which part of the oscillation corresponds to the inhale and which part of the oscillation corresponds to the exhale. Belly over here. Okay, so just to give you the comparison, I've highlighted the position of my belly in case the video resolution is not good enough. So the green line shows exactly where I am within the video, and the orange line shows the position of my belly. And the peak of the oscillation corresponds to the end of the inhale, and trough of the oscillation corresponds to the end of the exhale. Now, this might be counterintuitive to how we think about breathing. When we think about breathing, we think about the front of ourselves expanding, and in many cases, we end up shortening our back. Counterintuitively here, we can see that even the back is expanding. So here are a couple more examples of of having breathing as the cause for elastic energy. So I go into the pose. So as you can see, it's not that big a change. Of course, one of the reasons for that is I'm not that experienced a yoga practitioner. And here you can see my belly, so you can track breathing with the change in muscle system length. As I take more air in, even my back is expanding. Last one. This is one of the poses we went through. You can, again, you can observe my belly. Now, as I said, I'm not the best yoga practitioner, so I found a video of this person where you don't even need these tools to look at what's happening as she's breathing. It's very obvious.
Pancha inhale, Shat
She takes a
exhale.
few breaths in the next pose.
1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Sapta inhale, head up. Ashtau exhale.
So to me, the clarity in her movement is very clear. And like we saw the video of Floyd Mayweather, we said flow, right? So this is flow at a different time scale. And it's interesting to compare the two kinds of flows. So in the context of gait, the mean length of the muscle system is set according to speed. And the constant conversion between kinetic and elastic energy, basically our putting our feet down one after the other, causes the oscillation in the length of the muscle system. During yoga, poses are used to explore muscle systems at different lengths, and breathing is used to oscillate the muscle system around a specific length. So this is one of the reasons they tell you don't hold the pose. If you're shaking, back off, and then make sure you can breathe in the pose, right? So this is one way you can think about it a little more concretely. Okay, so in the context of gait, the manipulation is automatic and it is really fast. And in the case of yoga, we are using a deliberate and slow exploration of the energy cycle. Meaning, if we go back to our toy model, what happens if I can put it in a specific pose and I can change the amount of energy. Basically I'm oscillating, right? So as I manipulate my breath, how is the rest of my body responding if I remove restrictions? These restrictions, we'll talk about it in the final class, and we'll quantify, we'll see a biomarker for these. Okay, so that is the main point I wanted to make. Now, after you have gone through the experience and after you have seen the comparison, what do you think it means to be good at yoga? I love the participation. Thank you. Let's look at these answers. Yeah, I agree with optimizing energy in static or slow movements. Often, we don't have to optimize energy in slow movements. We can power through them, right? Because we can work our muscles extra hard. So this is a nice way of exploring, even during slow and deliberate movements, how do we explore um, efficient movement, and how there are how do you say, you can pay attention to specific signals in your body, and they act as guides to provide where to send elastic energy and so on. We'll cover this in a different course. Is it necessary to judge it as good? No, yes, you don't have to necessarily judge it as good. So the idea is, as long as it's not about how deep we go into the pose. It's not about how flexible your joints are. It's all about exploring your own muscle systems at different lengths and make sure you're comfortable. This is why as Pallavi was saying, sthiram, sukham, asanam. Sukham means being happy and at peace. Sthiram is stable, right? So we'll explore the stability part again in the fourth session. And it'll be, if you are if you have less muscular effort, then it's more efficient. And it'll feel good. Okay? So we'll take a deeper look at breathing. As you saw, it's very important in the context of yoga, and we'll take a deeper look in the next session. So thank you very much. And before I go on to the question and answer session, I know I went over a little bit, but just for my amusement, here I have taken away the video and I'm just showing you the position of the markers. So we're going to play a little game called Guess This Asana. So it's poll time. I should show you the options. That's interesting. Let's have a look at the answer. That was indeed tree pose. One more, last one. Guess this asana. All right. So let's see what the answer is. This is Peaceful Warrior. Okay, so now I'm going to take some questions. Thank you for amusing me with that. As you see, it's not obvious just to tell from the positions of these dots. If you have any questions, feel free to type them out in the Q&A part. Ah, I see. So I can give you I will read out the question and I'll talk a little bit about what I think. What happens to the tendons and the continuous muscle fibers during these exercises? So in the beginning, I showed that some of the fibers run continuously from one muscle to the other. The question is what happens. So before I dive into the answer, I will note that I went over time. I apologize, and if you need to go, that's totally fine. But I will stay back for the Q&A. Okay, so the this remains to be verified. The idea is that there is some sort of information transfer across these continuous muscle fibers. So there is a debate whether there is a transmission of force across these muscle fibers, but a more likely explanation is that there is information transfer. And what do I mean by information transfer? Um, at these tendons, you find sensors in your body in the form of Golgi tendon organs and so on. And when the continuous muscle fibers end up stretching, yeah, the likely thing that will happen in your body is you get a signal from different parts of the muscle system continuously. If you think about this in terms of a restriction, meaning if I'm held in one muscle in the middle, then the amount of stretch here doesn't really relate to the amount of stretch here. So that is likely the role of the tendons and continuous muscle fibers in these exercises. You're exploring them, you're finding those connections within your body. Okay. I do not have more guess the asana questions. I'm sorry. I wish for next time I can make more if that was fun. Um, another question is, what is the answer to the question I had earlier about how the energy cycle relates to yoga? So I would go back to this idea. We'll talk about this again next time, right? So the energy cycle, the cause of all I covered this time was that the cause of the energy cycle is different in the context of gait and yoga, but nonetheless there is an energy cycle. The energy cycle in yoga is fueled by breathing, and the manipulation of the mean length is set by the asana. Uh, when in the case where we just run, all of this is set automatically. uh, I'll talk a little bit more. So because in next class, so during the inhale, you are using muscular energy. So we're going to bring in the idea of calories and ATP and fit that into the context of energy cycle next time. So let's go back to the questions. Right. What is the importance of coordinating inhalation with specific movements in a pose? In general, when you inhale, the total amount of elastic energy in the body increases, right? So what we didn't talk about was the other importance of the breath is not just used for when you hold a pose in yoga. It's also used when you're moving between poses. Some poses are more likely to occur in yoga instruction. They're more likely to happen during an inhalation and some during an exhalation. For example, you would inhale during an Ardha Chakrasana, where you would lift your hands up and bend your back, or Cobra, and then you would exhale as you put your hands down. This corresponds to, there is a correspondence between Even though inhalation increases the total amount of elastic energy, it increases the front more. So in general, when you end up stretching your front, you end up the instruction in many cases ends up as inhalation. And and when you exhale, everything relaxes. Uh, so the front changes length the most. So for example, when you bend down, you correlate exhalation with that. So the idea is you are taking in energy during the inhalation and just molding it into different places. So in the context of sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems, I will talk about it next class. So this is one of the main topics of next class. So I won't spend too much time discussing the importance of the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system and how they relate to movement today. Well, the short answer is it's breath. And we'll see how that relates to the nervous system next time. See if there's any more questions. Okay, if not, I have kept you for 10 minutes longer than I need to. I will officially end the session, but feel free to stay back and ask questions, and I will stay until you're all here.
Thanks a lot, Praneeth. That was great.
Thank you so much.